Ladies and sirs, my beautiful Eggy peeps, I am back here in Studio 2A for another round of videos on the Eggy Review channel. And so I'm going to read for you all a show that I was at in May, specifically May 22nd in Atlantic City. If you've been on the Carton, which is the band's kind of record of all their stuff that they do, then I guess you'd call it the discography. I don't know what you'd call it. Anthology. Anyways, they have this great website with all kinds of stats that you can get out of it if you plug in the shows that you've been to and stuff, but I digress. They have a person that curates for them the notes for these songs. Shout out to Bruce. And so if you rest your mouse on a few specific songs that have different colors on them, and I'll screenshot this in here, then you get to read the notes, kind of about each song that may have notations. So let's get right to it before I ramble and get digression, right? So this is a show I was at. Let me set the setting for you. Giant casino, fire. When you think of Atlantic City, or at least when I think of Atlantic City, the last time I was there was 20, 30 years ago, and the casinos were actually much closer to the water. So in this instance now, the hotels and casino complexes are removed back from the ocean front quite a ways in their own kind of giant marshland complex. Very, very large casino. Designed as a perfect casino would be, so you have to walk through everything to get to something like the entertainment venue if you're coming from, say, a hotel room where you're staying on property. So, beautiful, steep theater, amphitheater, a couple thousand seats probably. Interesting group of people already there. When we got there, it looked like there was, some professional gambler types that were comped by the casino and were there for a show. But let's get right to this burner. This was a really good show. I was there with a lot of fellow Eggy friends. A lot of us traveled in for this one, and the band didn't disappoint. They really pulled out some nice stuff from their catalog, and so let's get right to it. It was one set, May 22nd, 2026. Opened up with Whoa There. And the notes on Whoa There are, in a brooding yet kinetic zone early, around 5 to 7 minutes, then went to a pensive shift. Subtle drumstick work from Alex after 8 minutes. Plucky guitar and Wurlitzer play around 9 minutes. It trended fluid as it organically rolls into a blissful half-peaky zone before dropping back into Whoa There. That's like a really good synopsis of what happened. Song 2 was You, we all know that one, which went right into Parceled Serotonin. And then they did No Way Down, which is a Shins cover. So that's your first notated song. Then they did Sweaters for Straw Men, which has its own notes, which is why I'm here. Slap bass as a slow groove emerges after 2 minutes, but stays in the shadows. Organ yields to a clav by 4 minutes with pokey, funky guitar lines that explore. Jake finds a finding and losing tease after 5 minutes, and then skin it back ideas surface after 6 minutes to initiate the segue. So guess what? That's note 2 with finding and losing teases from Jake. The next song, so our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth song in the set is Skin It Back. This one has a nice write-up too. Organ leads the exploratory intent after 4 minutes. Rhythmic, relaxed, democratic groove follows. Light touch from Jake and Donnie after 6 minutes gives way to synth pulses. Play stays ethereal. I love that word. Alex drumsticks at 8 minutes delight. After 9 minutes, the jam morphs to driving, pulsing, dark ethos. Bass driven with guitar sizzle and synth, sears 11 to 12 minutes. Mike and Alex establish a downhill groove, and Jake fires lasers over the top through 13 minutes before toggling to cleaner tones. If you hear a cowbell in the background, that's just the car garage next door. So Jake fires lasers over the top through 13 minutes before toggling to cleaner tones, romps along until a silky Skin It Back re-entry. Then they dropped a pretty new one on us, which is Through the Mist. There's no notes on that. Oh, the Skin It Back has notes. Little Feet cover, yep. Broken Bluff was the next slot there. a 71 show gap. And so for us older, I guess you'd say, Eggy fans, those songs from a couple of years ago are really great. Sweaters for Straw Men followed, which has no notes. Then Island Afterlife, another one that has quite a show gap, 106 shows since they played that last, which really isn't that long ago. It's only April of last year. But that was with Jake on acoustic, by the way. Then they did Bloomlight, another acoustic version with Jake on acoustic, switching back to electric for the last song in the set, which was a real great version of Shadow with notes. It was Jake on electric, and it had Thunderstruck teases from AC/DC from Jake. And so let's read what it says about the Shadow song from Atlantic City. With a moody preamble as Jake returns to electric guitar and Donnie vamps on electric piano, lush layers of synth fuzz as improvisational embarks around 6 minutes. Bass and guitar intertwined from 7 to 9 minutes over a sturdy, full drum beat. And that's the only kind Alex provides, right? Thunderstruck tease before 10 minutes from Jake as jam trends in a cacophonous direction while maintaining momentum. Minor key hard rock mode with Moog sweeps around 12 minutes as play turns half peaky until a tension-filled return to Shadow at 4 minutes. Now, that wraps up the whole one set. But they came out and did, for me, one of my favorite cover songs they've ever done. And I was lucky enough to get it at my first show, too, which was Hush, of course, by Deep Purple. Let me just go back real quick and see if it says anything. I want to make sure I'm actually right about, did I see that at my first show? And I'm pretty sure there's notes about it. So let's see, 2022. Okay, October 1st. Here we go. October 1st, 2022, my first show. Set 2 opener, Hush, notes. Donnie intro with only him on stage. So as a new guy, I came out and was just blown away by them doing this song. And Donnie did the full, like, funeral dirge organ opening that was just stunning. If you guys ever want to hear a really great show, plug in October 1st, 2022 into Nugs and go right to the whole show is great. Let's just read it while we're here to keep you from guessing. October 1st, 2022, my first show. Set 1, Buying Time. Segue into Second Step. Segue into Broken Bluff. Segue into Amarina, the Elton John cover. Then it was High Noon, into Bubblegum, into Tiny Miracles. And the Tiny Miracles had Teacher's Pet, School of Rock, and Birdland Weather Report teases in it. And then they walked off stage. Now, this is my first show. I had only been listening to them for probably 3 months. And I was just, like, beside myself. Couldn't believe what I was seeing. And for Donnie to come out in set 2 by himself and just so solemnly sit down at that keyboard, and you got to hear it to believe it. Probably their penultimate version of Hush, segued into Rosetta Stone. Then they did Sweaters for Straw Men, segued into Wireless, Queen's Gambit. Then they did Bloomlight into a Ricky Gervais, which I had never even heard Ricky Gervais before until that day. And then the encore was Today and Tomorrow. I must say, those songs from that era of Eggy are just, there's just so much wisdom and so much funk and groove, and those songs have so much to offer. I kind of miss them. I know they've got a lot of new material they've been playing, but man, coming up in Boston, I wouldn't mind seeing some of these old ones. Let's see. I don't know if I can look and see what the length. What's the last time Queen's Gambit has been played? Looks like it's hard to understand this, I guess. This is a 76 show gap. The last time it was played was 3/14/2026, and then before that was, I don't know if this is right. Show gap 76 every time played by Eggy. Yeah, man, oh man, it's been 76 shows since we got a Queen's Gambit. Anyways, That's all I got for you, my Eggy peeps. Love you all, every single one of you. Miss you all, and look forward to seeing as many of you as possible at Fenway Park and at, of course, the House of Blues both nights. So, and Ocean Mist, don't miss it. I'm telling you, what a place to see them, and the best fish and chips I've ever had in my life. So with that, my Eggy peeps, I love y'all. Peace out.